Call to order. Mike, would you like to do roll call?
Sam Bosson,
Here.
Carol Tucker,
Here.
Mike Storino here. Sarah Collins,
Here.
Donna Maxon,
Here. Christine and Ryan are absent.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any public comments on agenda items? No, thank you. Public comments on non-agenda items? No, thank you. Any amendments to the agenda? Moving on to the approval of minutes from last month, last month?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? None opposed. The meeting minutes are approved. Moving to the department staff updates.
So I have Gina's information
Okay, excellent.
that I can give you. She was here today, but wasn't feeling well, so left late this
Okay.
afternoon. So, yeah, she's had a little bug for the last week. So I have some info that she had given me to read out to everyone. So the first area is the aquatics and pool pass updates. So the pool opened June 1st, and the attendance from the 1st to the 9th is at 958, and for last year we had 1193, so a couple hundred, 250 off. We did have one more swimmable day last year than this. We have 8 swimmable days this year. We had 9 last year. So if you take the day into account, if we had a couple people, we'd probably be on par with last year's numbers.
Plus the weather's been kind of iffy.
It's been, Saturday rained, and Sunday was pretty nice but windy and a little chilly. So we really want those 90s. I think
We're good.
it's coming. This week.
Yeah, it's coming.
Coming.
It's
Supposed to hit
always.
us next week.
Yeah. So the pool gate admission revenue again for this year was $3,400. Last year was $4,400. The total number of pool passes we have sold this year is 307, 348 last year, so we're a little bit off. And the pool pass revenues $17,000, a little over $17,000 this year, and $20,000 for calendar year 23. The Mariners swim team, we have 98 Mariners registered this year. We had 107 in 2023. They had their first meet against Butterfield Park District, and they won their first meet, 339 points to 146. So congratulations to the Mariners. Their first home meet will be was Saturday, June 8th, and we took a loss against the Lombard Waves.
Yeah.
And but on the swim team and their members are improving because we had less DQs this year than we had in the first couple meets last year. So they're making improvements. Yeah.
Okay.
Under the summer program update, so athletics, we have a Summer Alliance basketball league. Practice started on May 28th. We had 62 Villa Park residents participating this year, and we had 62 last year. And that's a pretty good number for summer basketball. And our summer soccer camp will start in about a month, July 17th. And we have some registrations rolling in right now. Day camps, so junior and adventure day camp, Gina gave me the total number registered for the whole summer camp. It's a 10-week camp. So we have 429 participants. So basically with 10 weeks, it's about 42, 43 kids a week that are registered. Last year's numbers, we had 242 for the entire camp. So we're a couple hundred over from last year's numbers. Same with the mini adventure camp. We have 278 participants registered for the entirety of the camp, the 10-week camp. So again, that's roughly 27, 28 kids per week. And last year we had a total of 186 kids So our numbers are really good for camp, and I mentioned to Gina that once we move into the building next year, I think those camp numbers are gonna grow. So, fingers crossed. Summer events, we had our first concert band last week. I totally kind of forgot about the cicadas, and I didn't know how they would affect the people coming out, but we had probably our biggest crowd. It was packed. Probably 500, over 500 people.
Wow.
Yeah. I kind of tell, we've done some initial counting with smaller numbers, and so it's 400 to 500, but when we count inside the park, and then yesterday or last Thursday, they were all out in the street on the Cortese side, had all our tables were filled, so it was a really good turnout. The weather was cooperated, even the cicadas cooperated because they weren't really flying. I think it was really windy, so maybe that had something to do with it, but
It was cooler too.
it was cooler. And then I think it's supposed to start dying down now. So anyway, this Thursday we have Merle Music. They played last year, and they're kind of a pop rock funk band. So that and the weather's supposed to be cooperative on Thursday as well. I think it's supposed to be a little warmer. So VFW will sell hopefully a lot of concessions. I think they did pretty good last week. Library is also out there doing crafts for kids. There's a ton of kids that are running around. It's great to see. We sold ice cream. We had a good run on ice cream. Sold over $400 in ice cream at a couple bucks a crack. So that's pretty good. And I think the county DuPage County wanted to come out. They weren't there last Thursday. I think they might be out, and just they'll have a table just promoting some county information stuff. So we're glad to have them out there. Summer Festival for 2024 is rapidly approaching. Got a week and a half to go. We have 5 food truck vendors, beer garden. We're still looking for a few volunteers to pour. I guess we're looking for the 5 to 8 and the 8 to 11 shift. So Donna, isn't it your 8 to 11 is probably pretty good for you? Isn't that your time?
If I could walk better, I'd be on it.
Anyway, so we're working on that. We should be all right. Children's attractions are from 11 a.m. to 5. We have a trackless train, a 21-foot slide. Gina has an axe throw, but it says soft axe throw. So that's a good. I'm glad she included the soft throw. I don't think it's real axes.
Is it for kids?
For kids, yeah, the children's attractions. So I'm like, Gina,
It's the
thank God she
target
included
and
the soft.
and
You can try it if you like.
Yeah. I mean,
sticky type axes.
that one raised my eyebrows a bit, but I saw the soft in there. So we have a basketball shootout game, the 7-in-1 fireman bounce and slide combo, which sounds interesting. 2-lane bungee run, the Atomic Rush obstacle course, pirate ship bounce house and slide, and 7-in-1 bounce. I think you mentioned it twice. Bounce and slide combo, ninja obstacle course, toxic rush wall, soccer fever, leaps and bounds, wipeout game. So there's plenty of activities for the kids up until 5. We will take cash as well as debit card for that day. And the entertainment, I'll just read through this real quick. At 11:15 to 12, we have Corey and Eric. From 12:30 to 1:30, we have Hard Rock Fossils. From 2 to 3 p.m., we have the Cave Dwellers. From 3:30 to 4:30, we have Michael Charles. From 5 to 6 p.m., we have Good Clean Fun Band. 6:30 to 8:30, Saturday June Band, and 8:30 to 10, Seven Soul. So we have a full lineup of music all day long. And then just as a final, our May senior programs, we have 18 activities, trips, programs scheduled in May, and we had 280 seniors registered for those programs. So senior, Janet Bry's doing a great job with the seniors, and there's a lot more participation. So I think that number will also go up. I'm hoping all the numbers go up next year, but I think they will. So that's all I have from Gina, and if you have any questions, if I can answer them, I will. If not, I'll write them down and
Greg,
have her get
do we
back.
have concerts at the gazebo on Wednesday night?
Yes, Kiwanis.
Is that Kiwanis?
There's the
doing it?
Kiwanis concerts, and we also assist. Brian's guys are out there. We have some staff
Is
that
that
go out there.
July or June?
That's July.
Okay, somebody's saying they thought there was concerts in June.
There are at Cortese, but not at the gazebo.
Okay, they were saying at the,
Yeah.
and I said, no, that's
It's July.
Kiwanis in July.
Right.
That have it, and they said, no, somebody was out doing concerts in June at the gazebo.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Well, if they were
"Not
doing
that I
something,
know
we're
of."
not aware of it.
Okay.
But, no, it's,
I thought I'd ask
Kiwanis
if
is
there's
always
some-
in July on
Oh,
Wednesdays.
that's what I thought. Theirs is in,
Yeah. And they'll start, they're not, I think July 4th falls on it, or July 3rd. I don't think they're doing their first one. Let me look at my calendar. July 3rd. Yeah, I don't believe they're doing one. I think it's going to start the 10th for Kiwanis. We can get back to you on those, on that date for sure.
Do Parks and Rec have anything to do with the VFW 4th of July parade? Rolling
The
out?
village does, yeah. We all meet, the department heads meet at the VFW and some other citizens, and I know the Y was in it last year. I don't think they're in it this year. And we plan the activities, and Brian's, some of Brian's guys will work it, get ice from the VFW and take them to water stations throughout. And
Who does like the street cleaning and the blockading and all that? Is
PW would do, like, they'll send through the sweepy, they call them sweepy, I think, sweepy.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
got the
sweeping.
street sweeper out. We brought out the party trailer last year for them, so they had tables and chairs. They had a little stage. I think they did some
Yeah,
speeches.
because I know one year they had the parade and it was quite a mess because they had horses
Oh,
Forgot to
and,
say.
yeah.
I don't think they have any
All over the
horses.
street and people marching through it and around it and on public streets, so I just didn't know if that should go to Matt or
Yeah.
Public Works or,
Yeah, well, Matt, but I don't think they're, I went to one, I was out for the last meeting, but I don't think there's any horses this year. If there are, they should keep them at the end of the parade.
You gotta get the poop sack on the horse.
Yeah. But, good question. But the village, all the departments are, police, fire, public works, parks and rec, we're all involved with
for some
helping out the
reason I thought
VFW.
Brian's guys did something with the sweeping and the
Yeah,
barricades.
yeah. Any other questions for Gina? Okay, thank you.
Brian, Parks, Building and Grounds update.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Some current completed projects over at Jefferson Pool. The pool is up and running. It hasn't been without the cicada drama. They for some reason love both pools, but more the baby pool. So we've had someone there almost constantly, just cleaning out filters and pumps and all these things. 'Cause, there's just been a lot. We've been pulling, like I said, buckets of cicadas out of the pool, like on a daily basis. So we can't wait until that dies down because it's been crazy. But yeah, the pool's been doing okay. We got our new systems in there, our new controller and things like that, which have been running well. Hasn't been without its learning curve for new systems like other things, but we've been working good with staff and everybody at the pool to try to make sure that we keep everything going. On May 20th, we went to the board with a proposal for the new liner that we've been talking about for the pool. It was approved by the board. We're currently in the process of working with Aquapure. They're the main company that we're using for this, and they use a company, the work is done through them with a company called Renesys, who does the actual liner install. But we're working with Aquapure right now to finalize some of the contract items and terms and stuff like that before we have a fully executed contract that can be signed. Once we do that, then we can set up with them that timeline for all of this work to happen. We're still hopeful and looking to the fall for this to happen, but obviously we're going to make sure that it happens before the 2025 pool season begins. So Over at Lufkin Park, we are gearing up and getting ready to start the pathway around the pond. In the next week or so, Summerfest is coming up too, so we're trying to coordinate all things. But once we get to the, I know it came up before, I think, Donna, you mentioned the southwest corner of that park has a concrete culvert that you were curious on
Right.
how we were going to span that. We met with Public Works out there to review it, and we're going to cut out a section of the concrete that's there, and we're going to re-pour it, but we're going to extend it so we can take it from the culvert slope to a wider slope, and then that is going to tie into both ends of limestone. So then we'll have kind of a smoother transition, but it'll still serve the same purpose as a culvert. So once you get to that, you'll walk across the concrete, and then you'll go back onto a limestone path on the other side. So it was a good solution to that. Public Works is willing to help us when we get to that point too, make sure the slopes are all correct for their culvert, but we should be good to go on that end over there. There was also a few, I think when the county did their project, there was a few plants that might have come out that some residents kind of let us know about. It was all on our property, but we also have to remove a few plants when we do the pathway. I think there's a couple on the west side. There's a few plants. It's a little bit tighter on the west side where the path is going to go. So there's maybe 2 or 3 on that side, maybe a third or fourth. But we'll talk with all the residents. We're happy to reinstall plant material and talk with them about trees and bushes and stuff like that. So when we get to that point over there too, or when we get started over there, I'll go over there and knock on doors and make sure everybody understands what's happening and is comfortable with what we're doing. So party trailer, we have both party trailers set up, and they've both been going out. So yeah, we had a backlog of people waiting for the second trailer, and then when we got that trailer, we released it, and it's been going out. So we had, I think since April, we've had the one trailer was rented through, and then the second trailer started like towards the end of April or into May, and both trailers are now booked, I think, through June. So, and then we have rentals all the way up till October on the calendar right now. So we have weekends free. Trailers are free, mostly starting in July, but there's plenty of weekends that are still available. We have 2 trailers now, so they're doing awesome. People are liking it.
We did purchase, we had one trailer last year and it was popular, so we bought another trailer and got the tables and chairs for a second one. So
Yeah, it's got all the same stuff in it. It looks pretty much the same too. So it's a little different color. It's gray with a little different, but if you don't see them next to each other, you wouldn't know that they're different. So,
and the purpose of the party trailers is for block parties. We rent them out at a reduced rate. If somebody wants to rent the trailer for a private graduation or whatever, we'll rent that out as well, but at a little higher rate. We don't want to compete with the rental companies around, but the object of providing the trailer was for block parties as a community thing. But people can certainly rent for other parties, but it's at a little higher rate. So. Sorry.
yeah, no, it's all right. The facility assessments was officially completed. We received the final draft of the final document. It went to the village board. They had it was presented to us at a COW meeting in May. We don't currently have it up on the website. It's available and we have it. It's not on the website. It's more of an internal document that we use for facilities and things like that, but it's not unavailable. I have the full document's like 800 pages. So there's an executive summary that summarizes everything that's in it. So I brought a copy if anyone likes to see it, but we also have it available if anyone would like to see the executive summary of that. So
It's just 800 pages, it's all?
It's only 800 pages.
Just
yeah.
800? Oh, okay.
It's a few buildings.
Yeah, so I
Just
mean, it's,
a
light reading one day if you're, For park updates, we continue to and have posted project updates and photos on the village website for the new rec center and Lufkin. We also do other construction projects and updates on the website. We have a new PIO. I don't know if that came up at the last meeting or not.
I don't know.
Donnie
Riley,
has since
yeah.
left, and Riley Pilar is the new PIO at Village Hall. She's doing a great job. She's been very helpful, and she's really nice.
She's
doing a
out
great
at
job.
the events, taking pictures. And
Yeah, she
she's
came
doing
out to Lufkin with me one day. She's been over at the rec center, I think. She's been good. But she's helped us update. We had a page with a QR code and stuff like that we were putting out at the parks. She's updated the website to where that goes to, and then she recrafted the page a little bit, gave us a new QR code. So we're getting that all set up and out now. One of them's going to go up at Lufkin Pond. I don't know if you've seen out there, but there's from the top of the pond down the slope is not being mowed anymore. There's some pink flags that the county has helped us kind of mark off that area. That unmowed section is the native plants and things that they've planted around the pond slope. So we just want to let people know that that's what that is, and we're not just neglecting a section of the pond or something like that.
I asked Brian to do a post like a sign with a QR code, maintenance updates and that. Like we did that for the fish park, I think.
Yep.
When we had to wait, we had to wait for the fish. It was like a year, and people were, hey, what's going on? And so we had the idea to post a QR code so people can click on the QR code, because I know we'd be getting some questions around the pond. It's not mowed, but the county does not want us to mow that. So we figured, we'll kind of explain that and also put it on a QR code. So when, hopefully people will go to that option and read what's going on around the pond, and alleviate some of the calls. But they're welcome to call in anyway. We can explain it to them too. But the more information we get out about what's going on over there, the better.
Yeah. You'll also see the sign initially up on the Prairie Path at Villa Avenue by the drinking fountain that's next to the playground. The drinking fountain is currently not working. We've ordered some parts, but we found that they are harder to get for that fountain. So they've been on order, and we'll get them as soon as we can. As soon as we have it, we'll fix it. But it's been Prairie Path is very popular, so it's been unfortunately we're trying to get it fixed as soon as we can. We've received a good amount of inquiries. So, and then Parks Department, we recently welcomed our newest full-time staff member to our team. He's a facilities person. He works with Jim Olson, who's our facilities specialist. His name is Jeremy Ferguson. He came to us from the Public Works Department. He's caught on fast. He's been here for I think like a week and a half now, almost 2 weeks, and he's doing well. His initial and primary focus right now is the pool. One of his main facilities to work on is the pool. So he's learning as quickly as we can. Jim's been a really good teacher, but he's catching on. He's doing a lot of stuff. He's gonna love cicadas, I'm sure, after this. Yes, and then upcoming projects is I had mentioned the pathways at Lufkin are going to be a significant project for us, and then immediately before that is Summerfest. So we got a bunch of prep. Most of next week will be prep for Summerfest and the event site and getting things ready. So that's all I got.
I got several questions. When you do the party truck, let's say you rent it out on a Saturday, what's the turnaround time to get it to be ready for the next booking?
We currently rent them out over the weekend, so we'll use, our typical is to deliver it on Friday and pick it up on a Monday. So if your rental,
So it's not, so like if you rent it out on a Saturday, it wouldn't be available for Sunday?
correct, yeah, so we wouldn't bring it back and clean and prep everything again for another rental to take out on Sunday. It goes to one rental over the
So with the
weekend.
2 trucks, it'll be nice because you'll have one for Saturday, and then if someone wants it for Sunday, if it's not double booked on a Saturday.
Yeah, we can rent it to 2 renters on a weekend instead of just one.
With the water and the grass, you said the pink flags so the pink flags are from, the pink flags to the water is where the plants are,
Correct.
and they're not gonna mow that until DuPage gives the final okay?
I don't know if
Correct.
we'll ever, if it's natural, if they're plantings, we probably won't mow.
No, but I'm saying from the pink flags up will be mowable.
Yes.
They said not to mow them.
Yeah, not down to the water.
From the pink to the water, we're not mowing. And that, I think the county's maintenance program for the pond, I think goes over the next 3 years.
Yeah.
So once they're done, I'm sure they'll give us a handoff on the proper care for the rest of that for the future, so.
So are more plants gonna be growing in the water like they anticipated, or
There's
just
some coming
around?
up. We were over there today. There's some more coming up, so. Yeah.
It should fill in a lot more.
Yeah.
I think they planted a lot, and I think that is also part of their maintenance plan over the next few years, is to make sure that pond section where all the wire and
All
stuff kind of is.
all those strings that
Yeah, that's
that's
for
to keep all the
geese.
geese out, so geese can't eat those
And then
plants.
there was spray paint like behind the trees. Is that where the path was going to go?
Around the pond?
Yeah.
Yeah, we went out there the one day. I wanted to go out with the guys in advance and just go over where we're going to put it, any questions, concerns, just make sure everybody was comfortable with what we were doing. So we kind of tried to walk and lay things out and just to get a feel of
The
where it was
highs
gonna
and the lows and the soft spots.
Yeah, I
and-
mean, when you see it and when you actually walk it, it's different, so we don't, it's, we can cut into any slope and do stuff, but sometimes it's easier just to make it turn a little bit. So I just wanted the guys to be comfortable with it before they actually started.
And then you talked about the path going over that, that
Culvert.
output in the southwest corner. Are they going to have any type of structured rail over that so the kids don't fall either way into that?
I don't believe so. I know that right there is, like, the culvert kind of slopes down, but we can look at it. I mean,
Because it goes like this, and if you got the path going over, I'd worry
yeah, I think
often, walking it.
it, as long,
Because I know you guys did a real phenomenal job with, you engineered the one at High Ridge, and that looked like something out of a magazine.
yeah, and we can if we need to, I think, but I think the slope that we intend to put there doesn't typically require a railing.
Might not be a big drop off once
Yeah,
they're done.
we're gonna, like,
So
the
it's
slope
not
of the
gonna be
culvert
high,
now,
It's gonna be lower.
it's gonna, honestly, by the time we're done, the culvert will still operate, but you probably won't even know you're walking through the slope. It's just gonna be, it'll be more of a smooth transition because we're gonna feather it way out. So it'll still flow water over the surface as it does, but we're gonna extend it so that it's just more of a sidewalk and walkway, so.
I don't
there's
think
not
it'll
gonna
be
a
like
steep
Willowbrook
slope.
Park, Donna.
Yeah, where it's
that's
higher up.
that's
I
a
just
pretty
wondered for the-
significant.
And I know what you're saying. On the one side closer to the pond, there is like where the rocks
It
are and the
drops.
culvert
Yeah.
comes off. So I mean, if we have some concerns, we can look at maybe doing something over there. But I think as it is now with the slope that we intend, I don't know that it would totally be required. So.
And just an idea to run by the museum, perhaps if the water fountain is out on Villa, put a huge sign that there's water available at the museum, because it's usually only on the north side that they say they have water. Might be a good idea to put the sign
We can
closer to
tell
the-
them.
Closer to the path and sell more water.
We can let them
I mean,
know.
I don't
It's
know
usually
who's-
at the door. Yeah.
Right,
They put
the
the
sign-
sign
the
on the
sign is at
villa
the door.
side showing it where they could see it coming in. They might come get the water bottles for.
I wouldn't even know who to contact about that.
Now, is
Well, it
the-
was Carol Marcus,
It's,
but she retired.
Lori, I think her last name, Lori Lococo, I think is the one at the museum now. I think that's kind of took her place.
Well, we can find out
We have a
and
new,
let her know.
yeah.
Yeah, just,
All right.
I mean,
Yeah,
idea.
good idea.
Is the water going under or over that walkway? I got a little confused, from the culvert where the water flows into the pond.
So
Or
there's
should be
there's
flowing
two
into the
right there.
wetland.
So the one
Right.
that Donna's talking about that's below that is ties into the storm sewer that is in the neighborhood there. The one that's above it flows surface water from the street and everything over top into that. So it's
So is that gonna go over our path then?
Correct.
Is the water, so it's like gonna be a waterfall effect over the walking path, or is it going under the water?
no, it will be part of that path, but in the concrete section, it's not going to flow like through the limestone.
I think, trying to understand, are there people walking through water when they walk the path?
Yeah, is
No.
my question, no.
Okay.
It's maybe in a big storm event,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
mean,
they won't be
there
walking anyway.
There's no
but-
water sitting in it,
Right.
but yeah, like if there's a heavy downpour and the street takes on a lot of water where it can't flow into the sewer system and there needs to be some overflow, then yeah, we may have water flowing in that culvert, but
But there won't be standing water.
I talked with Public Works and they don't foresee that being an issue for this.
Okay.
only
The
if you're
question
walking
is-
We could
Storm.
say it'll be dry, you never know, you know.
never
I mean,
know.
we've
Well,
had
you know,
100-year
I've-
storms
the
every
question is them
5 years.
walking through it, because the kids ride there, and they probably still do skateboard through that culvert, or whatever it is.
Not no
My
more.
curious, not anymore, but I mean, they used to. And, but the point is, you're making the path though around. If the water's going to be a waterfall over our path, it's gonna make it bad for the nature.
Yeah, no, there won't be
No.
standing water.
Yeah,
or
okay, so
moving
we're
water.
not talking about it being a waterfall effect over it.
If it was raining, it would be almost the equivalent of rain like on a sidewalk, like in a rainstorm. So, I mean,
Okay.
you're not gonna walk in.
We're not
like-
talking
You're not
deep
walking through
water.
huge, like a
Okay.
foot of water. It'd be like walking across the sidewalk in a rainstorm, so.
Okay.
Or like how the prairie path gets.
And then on the west side, those plants are the villages thing, right? Where they're gonna put the native plants on, or are we putting native plants on the west side? See, the pond has, and you're right by your house, used to have native plants growing out of the pond. They used to have, pond plants growing out of the pond at that area.
Well, whatever, I mean, that,
Are
in
we
the pond
planning
area
on
was all
doing it
county.
again?
It's all
That's
count,
all
whatever.
county.
Right,
So whether
so
they're
when they
gonna redo it again-
elongated or made it bigger, you know, they put all those plants in. So anything in that basin is the county. Anything above the basin, if we
Well-
want to plant some plant materials, that's ours,
Well,
but,
at one point, we were talked about making it a nature path outfit with
right,
signs.
right.
And my question is, were we going to still extend on that and do the nature?
Well,
type
what
path
we're
on
gonna
that
do
side of
is
the
talk to
pond?
the county about the types of plant materials that they planted and their functions, you know, and get that information to put the informational signs along the path so that folks, when they're walking, you know, they can stop and read and know what the purpose of the plants are doing for stormwater detention and, you know, but that's all, yeah, that's in the basin. So that's just gonna, our path won't go down into that basin, it'll just stay on the perimeter.
We'll stay on this,
Yeah.
so we're not gonna do natural plants along our path. We're gonna do it the same way as we have North Park type path.
North Terrace.
Yeah.
North
Pretty
Terrace
much, yeah.
Park is gonna be the same type of
Correct.
principle, okay?
Yeah.
Because we had originally talked about having a nature type thing.
Yeah, even the
added to
county had
that.
mentioned something about doing some rock formations down there, and the kids can jump on the rocks, and, you know, there'd be turtles, but they didn't have the funding, and we didn't. So that's a possibility down the road, to add some outcroppings and some rock down, I mean, bigger, not just the smaller rock, but the big, kind of the big, we have some outcroppings in there, if you've noticed.
yeah.
You know, some of the, that's what I was thinking, that the county, when they brought some pictures of it, and I'm like, this would be really cool to have, you know, these big rocks that the kids can walk kind of down in when the basin's drier on that west side, and.
When it's dry, yeah,
but-
when it's not all.
Yeah, not when
rainy
not
and
when
full and
there's water.
flood, But yeah, okay.
Is there any way we can talk to the county? We're talking about plants and stuff. I don't know if anyone's ever gone to a nature preserve and they kind of indicate, okay, this is a type of bird that's often seen in this area. you know, or turtles.
Yeah,
or-
we're hoping that, you know, when we ask for the information on the plants, that they could provide us, you know, what animals, what birds are apt to feed on those plants maybe, or,
Because, I
you
mean, there
know.
was just a huge print out there the other day. There's, we've had vultures back there, we've had everything back there, in fact.
You get the herons,
In
blue
February,
heron.
My husband called me and said, what's the chances of me seeing an eagle in this park? And I said, they've been seen there before, and it's something with the flight pattern, that time of year. He said this thing was absolutely huge. He said it was like an airplane coming over the house. So
An eagle or a blue heron? So the
No,
blue
it
herons are
was-
pretty big.
He said
Yeah.
it was an eagle. He said it actually put a shadow in our backyard. It was huge. And then he went and got the binoculars. He thought his mind was playing tricks with him, and he said it was an eagle.
Neat.
They're not there often,
Yeah.
but I mean, they have been seen.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully the county will provide us with what kind of birds, and, you know, that those plants will attract, and we'll see.
Seeing they cut down all the trees. People were very upset with for the,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any other questions before we move on?
yep, I'm good.
All right. Greg, are you ready to give your report?
Yeah, so I just jump right into the, you know, Lovekin update. We already mentioned the summer concerts, off to a good start. And again, our portion will be in June and August, and then Kiwanis will be on Wednesdays in July. So, Lovekin Park, we met out there with the Innovation, who's doing all the work, and 3D Design. It's basically weekly now that we're meeting, kind of cracking a whip. You know, the Innovations got to get going on a couple things. We need to finish off where the pier will be going in. The plumbers were out today sporadically to work on the bathrooms. So we want to get that all tidied up. The spray pad, we've got one structure, you know, when we were doing the community input, one of the things that the community was talking about, they didn't want the big structures that are the amenities, like the buckets and everything, so we went with basically spray nozzles. But we did one structure, it's a frog.
Big frog, yeah.
The kids can run through. So that has to go up, it's big. So that needs to get put in. Again, we talked about the signage, coordinate with the county. There's a pad kind of by the playground. It's where the sensory items are going to go in. There's a few sensory things that they need to put in. I think there's maybe music, and I forget offhand right now. I can't remember exactly what they are, but they need to install those. And so once they're done with that, I mentioned the pier. You know, they rough graded, and they're throwing seed down, and then of course Brian's guys will do the pathway, and really want to shoot for trying to get this open before the 4th of July weekend. And depending on where we're at with the bathrooms, we still might just do a soft opening. If the spray pad should be ready to go in the playground, you know, people can come out and take part in enjoying those amenities. We just do a soft opening, let the residents know that that'll be open, and then do a ribbon cutting maybe the following week. So I'm pushing for the end of this month, you know, but we'll see. So hopefully, if not the end of this month, before 4th of July, that we'll have something working over there, and so the residents can enjoy. And then we'll let you know on the ribbon cutting. Trying to shoot for the, I think it's the 12th of July, if not sooner. Let me check my calendar. Yeah, Friday the 12th. So hopefully.
The soft opening?
If depending on where they're at with the bathrooms and everything, the soft opening and just open it up for the public, I'm hoping to do that before July 4th. so people can enjoy the park on July 4th weekend. With all the construction and everything, the turf will take a while. Might not be the best for this summer, but
I don't think
Brian
kids
will.
will care.
Yeah, no, but I'm talking like by the band shell and around with all the construction that happened. I'm really talking to Brian about slit seating and, when next time it rains and getting some grass growing over
I
there.
think they put seating in today on the east side of the park.
Yeah, they were-
Closer to Ardmore.
Yes,
And then I saw some guys fiddling with the spray features on that cemented area.
yeah, they were caulking, doing some stuff today. So we're just kind of pushing innovation along.
Seems like since you've pushed them, they've really,
They're kind of, yeah, there was like,
Rocketed.
Brian and I were out last week a few times, and we're like, where's the plumbing at, because it's ready to go, and so we're kind of hammering on innovation today, and the plumber wasn't out there, and we're like, well, where are they? It was like 11 o'clock, and well, he had to go get materials, and then they showed up and got materials, and then, of course, they had to break for lunch, so we're like, let's go. So, but that really, the interior of the bathhouse, it's putting in the fixtures, the toilets, the urinals, and that type of thing. So, and hooking up the electric.
We're working on that too, yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's out there, we're just gotta connect it. So.
Yeah. So we're looking pretty good on that. Again, I'll keep you updated on what's happening. Hopefully, I'd like to be optimistic and say, we can get stuff done in 3 weeks, but if not, I really want to shoot for the 4th of July weekend. So, and that's really all I have on Lovekin. For the rec center, WB Olson, the construction management team, was out at the board meeting yesterday and gave or actually as a committee of the whole meeting, and they gave an update on where we're at with the construction project over at Lions. They're on schedule, to be done at the start of December. So, which will work out pretty good because our winter spring brochure will be out, and then we'll start programs in January and get all moved in. And we couldn't do the with the Open Meetings Act and accessibility and everything, we couldn't really do a group tour yesterday. So if anybody's interested in seeing, any of the commissioners want to see, just give me a call and they can walk you through, or Brian. It's pretty neat, especially when you go upstairs. It's going to be cool.
Cool.
They
we
poured
gonna
they
get
poured
that?
the concrete around the. The only thing they need to concrete right now, I think, is the gym floor, and they poured the concrete for the walking track. So it's moving along. And then we talked about the signage, and the discussion we had with the commission last month. We were looking at putting a sign up on the east-facing wall, so when people are driving from Villa, they can see the sign. We'd still put a sign over on that west portion of the far southwest, south-facing. Put a little Villa Park Rec Center sign, but we'll hang one by the gym, where the gym is at.
So you figured out a way to hang it by the gym, the bigger sign.
Yeah, well, so we had a meeting, and WB Olson was talking about some of the challenges of going through the precast. But Williams over at it's Fort Hill Rec Center in Naperville, they had the same precast, and they had the same kind of backlit sign letters on their facility. And it's like, well, if they can do it, we can do it. And put it up at the top, and so when people can drive in, they can see it a little better. So
Good.
we'll probably do that.
I'm glad we're moving to the east side.
Yeah.
Because people drive by Villa, and it would be
Yeah.
nice to see
Yeah,
that
they'll
sign.
be able to see it.
Yeah, instead of where it would be facing the south, the south side where you don't see it as much, so.
And then one of the future years, we have roughed in for an LED sign kind of by the parking lot, which will have,
That would be on Wildwood then, right? Or-
yeah, it'll be on Wildwood, and, it'll be, an LED, so you can put in what the programs or special
going
events,
on,
or
right,
what's
yeah.
what's going on, so. Those are kind of pricey, so we'll have to
One, yeah. And that one-
put it in another budget year, but.
Get a grant,
Yeah.
add it to the budget, whatever.
Any questions on the rec center? Or
Their video that they said they had, are they gonna figure out a way for us to get it on our site? That
Yeah,
video that they couldn't play on Monday night?
I gave Suzanne their zip drive, and she downloaded it, and I didn't have a chance to check on it today, but when they showed their pictures on the presentation, you're supposed to click on the picture, and then it'll show a video. So I'm not sure if that's up and running yet. I know they're working on it. So if you want to check when you get home, but you're supposed to click on the picture, and then it'll start the video of whatever section that
Well, he
picture
said
was.
they walked through whatever it was,
Yeah.
that they had videotaped
Yep.
it for us to see it, so I
Yeah.
wondered if we had figured out how to
Yeah,
get
I
there.
have to check, and
Their
Suzanne was
video
out of the
up and
office
moving.
today, but Riley is kind of handling that, and she's pretty on the ball, so, but we didn't have a chance to.
So we're hoping in the future, if it's not up now, it
Well,
will
hopefully
be up.
if not, hopefully by the end of the week, it should be up, if
Okay.
it's not up now.
So we can
I just,
see the
I meant to
video
check
of
it
them
before the
walking through it.
meeting, and I just didn't get around to it.
Okay. Good, because I'd like to see that
Yeah.
walkthrough video they did of it.
Is that all?
They had mentioned, like curing time for the wood floors, and I didn't quite catch how long that curing time is.
I'm not sure of the length, but it has to sit in, the building has to be dried in, it has to sit in the building.
Get
and-
it in there
Yeah,
conditioned, right?
yeah, so you can't just put it in, and you put the floor down, until
gotta, like,
it
set.
sits and cures and gets acclimated to the, atmosphere, I guess. Because if you just lay it down, and then it'll dry or crack or expand.
Or
And if you
warp.
put it down, yeah, and if it expands, then you're
Warps.
messed
Yeah,
up. And
warps all
so
over
they
the
just-
place.
They'll just put it in the gym and let it sit there. I think that's how I'm not up to speed on it. I'm surmising that's how it happens. I can find out more information on that, on the curing time, but I know that they said they. Pardon?
After the building is sealed, though, right?
Yes, yeah, it has to be after it's sealed.
Sealed.
You gotta have heat and air and a
Yeah.
constant temp.
Yeah. So it has to be sealed, but I can find out on how long it takes, if it's a week. I don't think it's gonna be much longer, but I'll find out. We meet with those guys every second Thursday, so this is the Thursday we're meeting, right? I think this is the Thursday we're meeting with WE, I can ask
I
them.
think so, yeah.
Yeah, you can ask them about that. Maybe get some more information for our own knowledge.
And you said, I know I asked, Mike got up last night about the flooding issue on that park.
I'm sorry, the flooding?
Michael got
Oh.
up last night about the flooding issue on that park.
Yeah,
Because I would-
well, we had-
I would hate for our new rec center to have the mold and the problem we had from our.
We've had some
the
significant
flooding.
rain the last, was it last week or 2 weeks ago, and there wasn't any issues. And like Mike had said, so on the west side, there was a 6-inch pipe going into a 12-inch, I think that's what it was. So the 6-inch wasn't big enough, so they matched up to put a 12-inch to match up with the 12-inch. And most of it's draining to the east anyway, not to the west. But they solved that problem on that property line along the west side by adding a bigger pipe.
But they leveled, I take it where they put the rec center, they put it up high enough that it's not, because where the water came in was from the east side of that building.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is,
They re-engineered the whole thing.
yeah, it's
I think
brand
they can
new.
re-engineer the villa in
On the west
Passville.
side, not gonna be any flooding, any issues there.
Yeah.
They
and th-
re-engineered it, right?
The whole thing.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what
all-
I thought he was trying to say last night, that he re-engineered it so we would never see what we
Thanks, George.
saw. Thank you.
I think they also re-engineered that in accordance with doing the Union project. They had to widen
Right, I
that
think
up.
you're right on that too, correct. And then, and I just forgot to mention that we've been meeting with Upland Design, our other grant for the playground and the pickleball courts and the basketball courts. And so they're working on the design. We picked out the surface, the playground surface. This isn't something new that we've done the AstroTurf and we've done the mulch. This playground's going to have a poured-in-place rubber surface, and that rubber surface actually going to be porous, the water can drain through. I'll have butterflies on there, and so it'll be a little different, really colorful. Let's see, they want to go out and get all their construction documents ready and go out to bid in August for all the playground and the asphalt company or whoever will do the layout of the pickleball and basketball courts, and then the sitting area with the pergola. So they'll do all that in August. So it'll be here before we know it, and then hopefully I think we'll, depending on where they want to start, probably on the west end, maybe do that sitting area at the pergola first, and then work their way around the building, playground, pickleball, and then the walking path. Talk to the library about getting books for the path and the reading story walk.
Box.
The story walk. So working with the library, they give us some information on the different stories, and so that should be a neat area. Yes,
You're
ma'am.
talking about flat rubber, not the rubber tire thing? We tried that one too, the rubber
No,
tires.
This is just,
basically
it's poured.
poured
It's a poured in
rubber,
place.
The pour
Yep.
rubber type
Yep.
thing. Yeah, okay. So it almost looks like the basketball court type things that some of them have.
Yeah, it won't be asphalt, but it'll be
No,
rubber.
they have rubber basketball. It's a rubber foam type thing that some of the basketball courts, they're blue in color and they're marking, but they're more rubbery than asphalt
Yeah.
type thing, type surface.
It'll be cool. It'll be really neat. It'll be different, do something different.
Because they match some of the tennis courts, they do that with the rubber on them. Surface, okay.
I know we're kind of broke as far as Lufkin and Rec Center, and we don't dare ask for any more money this
For the
year.
pool?
But just out of curiosity, DNR grants, did anyone know what they came out as this year? Were they the same, or did they lessen, increase, decrease? Remember, it was
On a
400?
whole, you mean for Lake Goslad?
Yeah, before it was like 400, and then it went to like 600, and
Oh, for each individual project?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, we got 600,000. That
No,
went
but
up.
I'm saying for this year, like if we were to put in the grant in June, which I don't think we're doing anything because we've gotten all our grants, but what did they offer this year as far as if you were to put in a grant, let's say the end of June or July, what was the payout from the state?
Oh, I'm not sure. I think it's probably the 2 years ago, well, the
Last year was
Lufkin was 400, and then this year, the grant that we got, well, this year is 600. And I don't think it went up again. It's probably at 600. I haven't investigated because we didn't apply
I
for
was just
it.
curious if
I would imagine
They
it would
maintained
the
the
same
600 or
600.
went back.
Yeah, good question. I don't know because we'll down the road we'll look for some more projects that we can ask for grant money with. Maybe Fish Park will be the next one. I don't know, but they with that OSLAC grant they like to do a lot of different amenities. Check the box for an educational and the playground and some athletics.
replacing existing.
Yeah, so, tough to get a grant just for one playground, but,
Or one pool. Which a
Well,
lot
they
of
have
people
park
want you to
grants
get
available for
the pool grant, and figure out how to get a grant for the pool to help us out.
Did you happen to read the article how a mayor of one of our suburbs, she's in hot water with the FBI and whatever, they had grants and they're not allowing their Parks and Recreation Department to install stuff and they stand to lose
oh no,
$400,000 grant.
that's too bad.
So pretty neat article.
Mayor of Dalton.
Yes.
Targeted federal.
That was
Yeah.
Dalton, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's too bad.
But it was just a shame, I'm thinking, do they get, with something like that, do they get blackballed?
I don't know.
And the basic gist of it was they were getting new playgrounds and new mulch, and she just, personal indifference and now they're gonna lose that grant.
Who knows if they even started on those projects, because there's a timeline that you have to
Yeah, and
start
they
and then
said-
complete. They usually give you 2 years, so.
You always
maybe
hear
they-
bad stuff about Dalton. What's going on in Dalton? You always hear bad stuff about Dalton.
It's an
Well,
interesting
I don't know.
town.
I don't
It's an
know.
interesting
We
town.
can talk about that after.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah, that's probably
Definitely an
too
interesting
much,
town.
yes, okay.
We don't know.
Any other
non-agenda
questions? Yeah, it's a non-agenda item for sure. Any other,
Good points there.
good point, yeah. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Excellent. All right, moving on to new business. Any new business?
We have none. No.
Actually, it's not on the agenda, but we don't actually have a non-agenda item from public, but,
Yeah, we
It
moved
was
it
up
up.
front. We did that
oh, that's
first.
right, yeah, I'm just
We
out of
moved it
order
up
now.
Moved it up.
That's right, I'm out of
Told you,
order now.
Sam.
You
Moved it
did,
up.
you got me. Wasn't paying attention. All right. Moving on then to commissioner comments. Mike, do you have any comments today?
Just, looking forward to the park. My sister and her kids are coming in. So it's gonna be cool to bring them to it. That's it.
Donna? Comments?
Looking forward to the new parks.
Yeah, really. Cheryl?
I'm just hoping for good weather
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Summerfest and all the activities that we've got going, the concerts and everything happening. I'm just hoping for good weather because we've got a lot of exciting things happening with the rec center getting built and Lufkin getting hopefully finished by the end of June, so people can use it. And then we've got all the concerts going on for all summer long. That I'm just hoping that the night of all those things, we have good weather. Anyone have connections with the,
Yeah.
Mother Nature, please take effect of those.
Sarah?
I'm just excited, and let me know if I should wear my swimsuit to the ribbon cutting for
All
the
right.
splash pad.
Yeah, and I don't have any specific comments, just, I guess we always say every month, just nice to see all these projects making progress. So that's the nice part. Village Board Liaison comments.
Yeah, just two things. There was a conversation yesterday about the band shell over at Lufkin and the size and what it can support, kind of outings it can do. And I don't know if the conversation's ever happened. I don't think there's ever been a conversation about having some of the plays or the parks or some of the outdoor plays that they want to do here in the village at Lufkin. The one, or not at Lufkin, I apologize, at Cortese. One of the issues was the street there. So that was just something I didn't understand, like how much it costs to cut the street off or have Public Works come and do it. And I can't imagine it's way out of control, but definitely something that we can explore. Number one. Number two, the pictures from the rec center look great. I mean, you can look at it. The big piece, the next big project, and I don't know if you mentioned it, was the windows are coming in next week. And then once you get the windows in, then you have an envelope, and then all the drywall goes in. And one of the interesting things that W.B. Olson said yesterday was the second floor is ready for sheetrock, but they don't have the windows, which is incredible. And they are going pretty quick. They've had 33 days where they couldn't work because of the weather. So as good as weather we can get from now for the next 2 weeks to get the windows in, then they can start doing the work inside, right? So, and then that's when it'll start picking up. So it's going to be great. I plan on getting in there within the next few weeks here and take a look at the pictures. I know that do it justice, but if you could like look at it, like, oh, this is the picture looking up at the ceiling of the gym, and you see the track there. It was pretty incredible to see it. So the concert series was incredible. Again, I was there last week. I'll probably be there this week. It was packed. And I've been to, I think, like 5 or 6 of them in the last few years. And this, I feel like this was the most. You didn't miss it. Like you'll get a bunch of them, Brian. I missed it, yeah. But it was great. So there's gonna be. I mean, I think this summer and right into fall is gonna be a lot of really fun stuff happening in Villa Park. Years and years of planning here in this room, years and years of work has brought us to this spot. So. 2024, we're going to get a new park, an incredible new park. We're going to get a brand new rec center. Like, that's a lot of stuff happening. So kudos to the staff again. All you guys with your volunteer time, it matters. So that's it.
Thank you. Brian, any comments?
I don't know how to follow that.
Yeah.
But no, I'm just excited as well for all this stuff. It's looking awesome.
Greg?
Yeah, just to follow up what George said, I mean, years ago we did a feasibility study, and a lot of you were here for all that from the ground floor, and we're 6 short months away from moving in, which is really exciting to the rec center, and there's been a lot of improvements to our parks, and we're just going to keep trudging along, and the next park that needs it, we haven't decided, on what that'll be, but we're always want to plan ahead, and we might take a break for a year, and just make sure everything is operational and working all right, and then go back at it. But we certainly appreciate all the support from the Rec Commission, and all the work you guys do and spending your time here, and your efforts are we'll see your efforts come to fruition in hopefully by July 4th, and then again in December, and then again when the other OSLED project will be done in spring or summer of 2025. So that's it. Thank you.
Can I make a quick comment? One thing that I'm kind of proud of, and a lot of this is due to staff, is we're not wasteful. Brian has done an amazing job repurposing things, reusing things, rebuilding things, and in the long run, that is a village that saved us money.
Can I tag along on that? Because poor Brian, because every project we have, I'm like, okay, we can't pay these guys as contractors. Guess who's going to do it? Because we wanted to really have the contractors do like at Lufkin, have them do the pathways, and we'll save on the contractor vendor fees, and Brian's guys can do that, and same with Lions Park. The landscaper is going to put all this in. Like, well, Brian, can't your guys put all the materials in?
They did the benches at Lufkin a couple of years ago, and I swear
Right.
that they were brand new.
So yes, Brian.
Garbage cans.
Poor Brian,
Greg loves the
we're
Brian's
trying to save money, and it, so when we
Well,
save money, it goes on to
I
Brian's
think
shoulder.
That's being responsible.
Well, we're
And
trying.
not just throwing money away that can be utilized
Well,
elsewhere.
even with the contractor at Lufkin, if you remember, when we got their bids, every bid was higher than what we had anticipated or what was budgeted, and I think the lowest bid came at $1.3 million. And we reduced close to $400,000 in costs because Brian's guys were going to do some of that work, and that just like Manager Harline said, hey, your projects, that's great, but we need to take some time off, which is fine. We got a lot of stuff that we need to kind of maintain in the next
Brian's
year.
guys got to play
Brian's
catch up.
guys
A lot
are.
of
Brian's guys.
Brian's. I've said this all the time that we got the best. Every department says this, and they should. But I think we have the best department in the village.
Skip. Brian's Guys Fan Club t-shirts or something? maybe?
We should. Yeah, kudos to Brian. And not to, leave out the rec staff, I've been harping on them. They're tasked with finding a lot of new programs, a lot of different things coming up if next winter, spring. So that's their big task with a little bit more program space. And we hope to see that come to fruition too and get some different programming that we haven't had in the past. So
Keep our rec center busy, very busy.
gonna be busy. Yeah, keep it going.
That's
So,
the
thank you.
idea, to keep it full and busy.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
We'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We are adjourned.
Thank you,
Get a
everybody.
gavel.
Thanks, George.
Yeah.
Yeah.